You are not your prospect. This is one of the most important lessons as a salesperson that you must embrace in order to be successful, no matter what it is that you sell. And a great story really epitomizes this lesson. And you have to go look back at the legendary sales trainer Zig Ziglar to learn from his experience about why you never assign your values to your prospects. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com. We're on this YouTube channel. I help insurance agents and salespeople too learn how to sell more and be more successful. So the reason I'm putting this together is because I had a conversation with an agent the other day, and we were talking about selling final expense life insurance. And this particular agent just could not grasp selling final expense life insurance to this particular to the final expense market, which, if you don't know what that means, final expense is predominantly sold to people on a fixed income, poor people. And this guy could just not grasp what it was like to sell to that market, and figured it was just a complete waste of time because none of these people had significant money. They made $1,000 or less a month in retirement, and how could they afford a life insurance plan? Albeit that final expense is a tremendously largely growing product with more interest every year. He just couldn't grasp why people lived like that and why they should be sold a policy. And the story that I want to demonstrate the importance of this lesson goes back to Zig Ziglar, like I said. I remember reading this story or hearing this story in a seminar, and basically what Zig was doing at the time, he was selling pots and pans. He was going into the homes, doing an in-home sales presentation, and doing okay. And he arrived at a house, and essentially it was a bungalow. It was a shack. There was no running water. There were dirt floors, and there was about 10 people living into this home, and it was somewhere in rural Texas, I think. And he already felt low. Have you ever rode up to a prospect's house and it looks like just a dump, and you're like, they're never going to be able to afford this. So you already started thinking negatively. Walked in there, and everybody was super happy to meet him. A very nice group of people. But they went on about how they didn't have running water. They didn't have sewage. They didn't have, and they had an outhouse they went to the bathroom in. And every time that the prospects would say something like this, it just, status would go lower and lower and lower. And he thought, oh man, why am I even here? And as he's hearing the next thing that just in his mind convinced Zig that this was a waste of time, he started to pack his bags up, convinced that these people just weren't prospects. And then all of a sudden, the gentleman there, the son of the mother who was the person who owned the house, said, you know what? What are you doing? You can't put up that stuff. If Mama wants to buy pots and pans, Mama's going to buy pots and pans. It's the way it is. We'll put off this money we're setting aside for the septic tank and the inside sewage and all that. If Mom wants to get pots and pans, it's just so be it. And eventually Zig sold a couple, and he realized the important lesson. It's that you come in to a prospect, and we all have values, right? But not everybody's going to share our values. And it's very easy to just assume as a new person that everybody shares our values. It's one of the biggest lessons I learned selling final expense. I deal predominantly with a group of people that are lower income, that make decisions in a different way, and have lived a life much different than the one that I have. And it has been said in this market, and it's really true of all sales, you've got to really understand your market mentality, why people think the way they do, and so as to better connect with them on what makes them tick, what they find important, and then make your presentation around that. Again, a lot of people are in insurance. They don't believe in whole life insurance. Well, in final expense, the final expense product's a whole life insurance product. And you may believe in term insurance as being the predominant reason why people should buy life insurance, and every other option is inferior. But you have to make special accommodations in your own mind why that may not necessarily be the case in final expense, in this example, in order to be successful. The takeaway lesson here is you really have to reduce the zealousness around product or around your way of life. You cannot be myopic and insular in how you think. You have to be open-minded to understand the market of what you're dealing with in order to maximize your success in the field. If you want to be a top 10% producer, if you want to be somebody who is successful, somebody that is modeled in your business, you have got to understand your market intimately. And you cannot judge them so much as to learn how they think and to capitalize on that for their benefit as well as yours. So leave your value judgments at the door. Get into the shoes of your prospects. Really understand how they think. And I promise you, if you start doing that and you start really thinking about what's important to them and what they're looking for, and take your own ego out of the equation, it'll make a huge difference in your sales efforts. If you like this YouTube channel, I do videos like this Monday through Thursday on all sorts of topics related to insurance sales, selling in general to any kind of salesperson. Make sure you like this page, like it, thumbs it up, subscribe if you haven't. If you're an insurance agent or interested in selling insurance, I recruit insurance agents in all different types of lead and sales systems. It's what I specialize in. I predominantly recruit agents in final expense, but we also have programs to help agents get started selling annuities. Really great market. Also, mortgage protection, Medicare supplement sales as well. Feel free to leave a comment below if I can help answer any questions you may have. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com, where we take people and turn them into successful insurance producers. Thanks again so much for watching, and we shall see you next time. Take care.